Hey, my name is Robin Tanner. Welcome back to the Daily Fight. This entire week, I am devoting to a pre-recorded series that I did several months ago for clients called the F-Bombs, Fudging Up Your Future Self. And it's basically wrapping around the ideas of 16 hidden secret ways that you might be sabotaging without even knowing it your future self, meaning just your thought process, your perspective on these 16 different avenues in life that might be hindering you from moving forward, from taking action, from getting off the edge of whatever it is that you're on. And I get them because I've been there, done that, got that t-shirt multiple times through all of them, and I still struggle with several of them. And we also cycle through depending on where we're at and on what stage that we're at in our fight. So you can apply these principles and these perspectives, all 16 of them, through any area of your life. Physically, it could be with your health, through the way that you are living, through your job, professionally. It could be in your relationships or socially. It could just be with your relationship with yourself and your attitudes and your ideas. So it's really designed to just help you think differently, open up some walls that you might have up to armor you from stepping forward, because you might be scared, or you might feel guilty about it, or you might feel shame wrapped around whatever it is that you want or you desire or that you want to release and let go of. So I hope this week that you tune in. I'll be breaking it up into 5 parts starting today. So just tune back every single day to catch all of the F-bombs that might be fudging up your future self. I hope you enjoy. All right, welcome to set 3 of mastering your F-bombs. We're going to unlock another 4 hidden factors that are subconsciously sabotaging your future self, that you are making decisions and choices and in a repeated pattern, or you're delaying the life that you truly want because of these 4 factors. So let me give them to you straight. The first one is your fitness, and it ain't what you think. It's your fatigue, it's your frustration, and it's your freedom. So let's dive right in. Now, first with the fitness one. While it's not what you think it is, I do want to give you background. I've been coaching and in the fitness industry for 26 years. I have helped thousands of people, men and women, lose weight, overcome eating disorders, develop better relationships with food, win competitions, train for marathons, love the way they look again, feel again, fit into their clothes, and just overcome that battle of that war with weight loss, with movement, with exercise. And there is nothing more empowering and character building than challenging yourself in a great workout and having a healthy body and having that standard set for yourself. But I can tell you, in the 26 years and over the course of 9 years of owning my business, the people that I have come into contact with, the people that have maintained and achieved success and have kept the weight off and have kept the healthy relationship with exercise and with food and with their bodies, is because they did the inner work. They had the inner fitness down, or they were willing to do that work, the inside job. And so that's what I want to talk to you first is this F-bomb, your fitness, your inner fitness could be the thing fudging up your future self. Inner fitness is your mental resilience. It is your emotional ability to call out your BS, your ability to keep going in spite of, no matter what. Push your edges, set limits, healthy limits. It's your spiritual strength. It's those things that we've talked about, those first 8 F-bombs, is your inner fitness, the faith, the fear, the fortitude, the forgiveness, your focus, your fuel, your fire, your fight. That is your inner fitness. These are the muscles that we have to start conditioning and training, just like you would your body in the gym. It affects your self-respect, your confidence, your courage, how you show up at home, in your career, in your relationships, with yourself, in the mirror. These are the muscles that we've got to train, that we got to wake up. They're also the muscles of your heart, of your kindness, of your compassion, of what you're giving back, your generosity, your stewardship of what you've been given, your ability to be present, to be in the moment, to have gratitude with where you're at and with what you have, and to make decisions based on that, not what you don't have, not where you aren't yet. So if your fitness sucks right now, if your outside fitness sucks, if you're fat, if you're overweight, I know those are hard words to hear. If you're unhealthy, if your blood work is all off the charts, if you're depressed, if you have anxiety, if you have mental health battles, I get it. I see you, I hear you. I've been through those battles as well. It is inside. That is where you find the magic. It is doing the inner work. It's having the courage
to go get help, to get a coach, to go to counseling, to get a therapist, not to keep venting and gossiping, not to isolate, not to hide, not to run, not to keep fighting. Those aren't the fights we want to fight for our future self. Your inner fitness is the magic. And unfortunately, these are the appointments that we put off, that we cancel, that we don't hold with ourselves. We'll go to the gym for 2 or 3 hours because you're escaping, because it's a coping mechanism, but you won't show up for the appointment of personal development, of following through on the course, of doing what your coach told you to do, of journaling, of answering some questions, of reading the book and applying the principles, of regulating your nervous system, of being able to calm yourself. That's magic. That's a superpower. But these are skills. You don't just have them or not have them. You develop courage. You develop confidence. You develop peace and calm. You develop being present in the moment. You develop grace. These are skills that we build. Like I said, just like training in the gym, just like you would a pull-up or running a 5K. Skills that you build to advance in your career. It's the same thing for your inner fitness. And this is often one of the number one things that is fudging up your future self, because you think you can just skip the inner work and get there. That's why the weight keeps coming back, because the diet pill and the doctors, they're just dishing it out like candy, but you're not doing the work. So you don't stay motivated. You don't stay inspired. You don't change the habits or the attitudes or the beliefs or the thought process. And you're pulled back into the old you. And that future you is just standing there waiting. So what do you say about making that a priority? The fitness of courage, the fitness of confidence, the fitness of following through, the fitness of investing in yourself, the fitness of doing the hard work, the inner work, the scary stuff, the honesty, the fitness of showing up for yourself even when you don't want to, the fitness of communicating even though it's scary. Because at the end of the day, all of the pills and the diet plans and the doctor's appointments and the Googling and the podcasts and the self-help book and materials, they're only going to get you so far. At the end of the day, you still have to show up for you. You still have to do the work. Nobody can run that race for you. And that brings me to fatigue. Fatigue is your next F-bomb. This F-bomb, this one's been hard for me. I take pride in my endurance, in my go-getter, my energizer bunny, the Tigger in me, right? Is anybody like that? Are you like that? You're a go, go, go. You're driven, you're ambitious, you're a high performer. You got a lot of ideas, a lot of things you want to do, maybe for yourself or your family. Maybe it's for your job and your business. Maybe it's just what you've always done. Maybe that's your coping mechanism. But then you find yourself burnt out and exhausted and tired, or you don't understand why you're not seeing progress because you're doing all of the things, but your body is in a state of shutdown. And that doesn't mean, we're not even going to get off on this one, that doesn't mean that you're eating the wrong foods or you're not eating enough or it's this or that. A lot of times we will blame, my body is shut down, my metabolism is slow. That's not what I'm talking about here. Meaning you're not feeling the feelings. You're not giving yourself space to hold that next level of success. And so then you revert back, you fall into old patterns. That you're denying yourself the feelings that you're having right now. And fatigue is a huge F-bomb for your future self because she requires endurance. She requires persistence. She requires conditioning. That you show up continuously every day. Now that doesn't mean 8, 10, 12, 17 hours a day. I used to do that when I ran the gym. And all it did was wear me down to the point of quitting. So if you feel like you're at the end of the rope and you want to quit, it's really probably you need rest. You're not doing enough of those passion things, the fire F-bomb. You're not fueling yourself with the right things. And you're going balls to the wall because you take pride in being in a corner. You take pride in Hail Marys. You take pride in coming through at the last minute. You take pride in being able to handle it all. You take pride in piling up that Thanksgiving plate because you can do it all, because you don't need to lean on anybody else. You can do it faster. You can do it better. But lone wolves, they don't get very far on their own. And it's lonely. And then you end up isolating and then you fall into depression. So I want to make sure that mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, fatigue is not one of your F-bombs. Are you spiritually waking up confused in a state of confusion? Fatigue might be an F-bomb. Emotionally, you can't handle the emotions. So you're numbing them. You're coping with something or you're ignoring them, shoving them down, running away. You're complacent. You're stagnant. Emotionally, you can't handle because you're shut down. You're in a state of fatigue. Mentally, you're not following through and you're not executing because you're probably doing too many things. We don't have that focus. We've got octopus arms pulling us in a bunch of different directions, and we don't know how to narrow our path. And we don't know which fight to fight. So we're trying to fight them all. Meanwhile, you fight this one and then this one's on fire. And then you fight this one and this one's back on fire. And then this one explodes over here. And they keep popping up everywhere. And you're exhausted, rightfully so. You could be chasing another award. You could be chasing more money. You could be chasing that people need me. I need the validation. I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to let them down. I don't want to piss them off. I don't want to hurt their feelings. Yet that's draining you. That is another place where physically your body will get sick, will manifest disease, and will hold on to it. Remember we talked about earlier about that little bubble that it creates. And sometimes you got to go in and do the surgery and dig it all out. So I'm going to encourage you is fatigue and F-bomb, because otherwise it's going to continue to impair your judgment. It's going to impair your choices, your actions, or your inaction. It's going to leave you on that fence of indecision. And that's a bitch. It hurts. It's painful. It's going to lead you into temptation. It's going to lead you out of missing opportunities personally and professionally. It's going to keep your body in a physical state of, I don't think so, and it's going to resist. And that's a painful place to be. Fatigue can be painful. So if you're that go-getter like me, I get you, I hear you, but you can learn. You can retrain and you condition that muscle to set new limits for yourself, to expand them, to condense them, to test them, to push the edges. And you think of it as an experiment with your life on what you need, on how far you can go before you hit that burnout, before you hit the exhaustion, because you can't do it all. Your brain's going to shut down. Your belief is going to shut down. Your body is going to shut down. And that's no good for your future self. And that's going to lead you to frustration, which is your next F-bomb for the day. And that's a doozy, because when you're frustrated, you don't make decisive decisions. Sometimes you don't make them at all, or you make rash ones that you regret later. You're operating out of guilt, out of resentment, out of bitterness, out of anger. Sometimes we're vengeful. That feels icky. These F-bombs get annoying for us when you're frustrated, when you can't figure it out because you're so damn tired because you're not doing the inner fitness work. And then you fall into repetitive cycles and old patterns and old habits, and then you wonder why. And then you think it's not working for you when it's working for you. But you're so run down by the fatigue that you get frustrated. So then you quit. Then there goes fortitude out the door. And then there goes your faith because you don't believe in yourself. Frustration will cause us to withdraw. It'll cause us to isolate, cause you to hold on to fear. And when you're allowing frustration to control you, it sabotages your success. Here's the cool thing about frustration. The frustration is like your yellow light, like a warning light, because it's not a total red flag yet. Frustration is your sign, your ticket to sit down, to breathe, to chill, to examine, to zoom out and get some new perspective of what you're missing, what you're lacking. Because where your frustration is a sign of where you need to focus, of something that is undone, unfinished, a little messy, those tangled up Christmas lights. Where your frustration is a good indicator of what needs to be done next. Basically telling you what's wonky in your life. So before you get to the next level of rage and bitterness and bitchiness, you're frustrated with yourself, or you're frustrated with somebody else, or you're frustrated with unexpressed expectations. You're frustrated because you didn't step up, because you didn't do the thing, because you woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? You're harboring some regret there, but you're really frustrated because you're tired. And you're tired because you got too much on your plate, and you got too much on your plate because you don't know how to be focused, and you don't know what fight you're even fighting because you're not doing the inner fitness work. See how they all weave in together? That's why I want you to take these F-bombs and examine them for your life to help you fight for your future self. Because fight doesn't mean hard. And it also doesn't mean that it has to be frustrating. But here's the biggest one. And then we'll move on to your final one for the day. Your frustration is a mirror. It's a mirror. It's a mirror for all of those things. So if you can do that today, and you can go to the mirror and ask yourself where you're frustrated, immediately your eyes are going to tell you. Because you can't lie yourself. You can't lie to yourself into a new life. You can't lie to yourself about anything because you know. You can try and do it with other people and hold up a facade, but they're going to sense that frustration. They're going to feel that energy. You know when somebody is frustrated in your life. You know when somebody walks into their room and their energy says, whoa, hold up. They've got an F-bomb, right? It's going to be in your head from now on. You're going to be able to identify other people's F-bombs, which will become a superpower. Here's the cool thing, though. It leads to the final one, which is your freedom. All this awareness is going to lead to your freedom, and your freedom is on two levels, your external freedom and your internal freedom. And then we'll wrap it up for the day. In order to have your future self, whatever that is for you, For me, it's a best-selling author writing books overlooking the ocean from my office. It's having a farmhouse in Montana and an animal sanctuary and being able to travel and speak and write from anywhere at any time in the world with my kids and my family. That's freedom to me. I'm creating that right now. There's nothing on my schedule that I don't want to be on my schedule. I don't work with clients that I don't want to work with. I don't do anything that I don't want to do. I speak up and voice my opinions, whether somebody's going to accept it or reject it. I got good integrity with myself, but it took me 9 years of developing this future self framework to have that type of freedom. And for you to have external freedom, which is freedom to live life on your terms, to create the life that you want, to do the things that you want to do, to experience the things that you want to do, you have to have freedom on your schedule, freedom in time, freedom in money, so that you can afford to do the things, to invest in the things. You have to have freedom on your schedule, on your calendar, that nothing's going on there that you are not just absolutely excited about, or they don't develop you for your future self. That's your external. External from waiting on other people's permission, external freedom from your environment that's holding you back, and your body. Your body might be something that you don't have freedom from because you're not in good health. Those are your external freedoms that could be fudging up your future self. If you are bogged down by your calendar and your schedule and your to-do list and you're living by that, or you're waiting on other people, or you're being dictated by other people, whether it's their problems or their passions or their dreams, or you're in a job that you don't want to be in, that is not freedom. Is it worth the paycheck? Is it worth the accolades? Is it worth the attention? It might be to you. But if it's not, this is an F-bomb that you need to focus on. And then, of course, your internal freedom. Right? This is being able to understand, have body awareness and mindset awareness and attitude awareness and habit awareness. So it doesn't mean that you don't fudge up. I still fudge up, even though I have this framework and these F-bombs and I know what to do and I'm a coach and this is what I'm trained up to do. I still mess up. I still make mistakes. I still make poor choices. I still let my old self and my inner turbo take control sometimes. I grab it right back because I've got this framework that creates that internal freedom. I do the inner fitness work. That's going to give you internal freedom. That's going to help your nervous system be calm. It's going to help you have peace. It's going to help you have power. And those two combined are a superpower. Your internal freedom also gives you the authority to see beyond where you're at right now, beyond your current circumstances, beyond your bank account, beyond how your body looks right now. And it allows you to create the future self. It allows you to become her. It allows you to uncage her. Whichever language helps you see it and believe it and start fighting for it. Having that internal freedom that you know who you are, you know who you want to be, you know who you're becoming, and that you're more than just who you think you are, because sometimes who we think we are not. We think we're somebody, but we're not showing up as that person. We want to be somebody, but then we get there and we're afraid to change our mind because we look like we're quitting or we're failing, when really you've just entered into a new level of involvement or season or a phase in your life where you've decided this is no longer in alignment with my future self. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to make new choices. That's different than quitting. You want to make sure that you're in alignment. That gives you internal freedom. All right, so we're wrapping this up. Now I've got a bonus one for you tomorrow with 4 more surprise F-bombs. And then we will conclude this entire Master Your F-bomb series. So make sure you download the 1-page worksheet. Make sure you do the inner work and you take time. You take time for your future self. She's depending on you. She's waiting on you. She's super awesome, amazing. She doesn't have to be you a year from now or 6 months from now. She can be you next week. She can be you tomorrow. You can start right away. There doesn't need to be a delay or procrastination or denial anymore in your life. Once you have awareness of these F-bombs in your life, you don't have to let them continue to sabotage your success or whatever it is that you're striving for, or the struggle that we're going to turn into your strength. So do the inner fitness. And again, let me know which F-bombs are resonating with you so far. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And I'm going to drop 4 more F-bombs on you to wrap it up. Peace out.